how escapism and your constant need to escape your own life puts you to sleep in life. All right, because if you've noticed, especially lately with the rise of these superhero movies, you see, it's like every friggin' movie these days is a superhero movie. It's insane how much Hollywood is like milking this for all they can, doing complete cash grab, right? They don't care about the product, they don't care about you, all they care about is selling movie tickets, and they don't even care about the script, the characters, they don't even care about any of that, right? They don't care about any of that. They're not concerned with delivering a quality product to you. It's all like just this packaged up garbage, and they're just like basically going, here, we know you'll buy it, and you know, like a sucker you do, right? And so many of these guys like watching these superhero movies, just constantly needing that escapism. I think it's like sad too when I see a guy walking around, he has a superhero t-shirt on. I'm like, dude, why do you need that? Like, dude, why do you need to escape so bad? Is your life that bad? Is reality that boring for you? Because if it is, then you know what? Maybe you need to stop watching so many of these superhero movies and start becoming your own superhero, making your life bigger, better, larger than life. Instead of relying on Hollywood to deliver this for you. I mean, I watch a lot of sports. That could be considered escapism. I don't watch as much anymore. I try to watch, like, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. Yes, I am. Yeah, I hate the Niners. I hate the 49ers, man. But I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. And even then, you know, like back in the day when I needed that escapism, I literally watched every single game verbatim. I mean, that's all I look forward to was a Cowboys game that weekend. You know, this was back in the 90s. Whereas now, I mean, I've got a life. I've got a business to run. I've got a 5-girl dating rotation, right? It was 6, but I had to let go one of the girls. She was just like becoming more trouble than she was worth. So I let her go. Got a 5-girl dating rotation. I've got my family. I've got my dogs I want to hang out with. I've got, you know, real life responsibilities. Like I said, I've got a business to run. I've got content to create for you guys. I'm too busy living and enjoying my own life to where I have free time to, you know, watch the Cowboys play every weekend. I just don't. Or watch a movie for that matter, you know. I mean, I stopped watching movies a long time ago, but I just don't have time, much less do I need that escapism anymore. Even when the Cowboys come on to play, I mean, I can't remember the last time I sat through the entire game. Okay, I've not sat through the entire game from beginning to end. This year, I have tickets to one game in Dallas that I'm gonna go fly out and watch. Okay, that will probably be the only game that I actually sit through from beginning to end, right? But I just don't have the time these days to sit there and watch every single Cowboy game every single weekend like I used to, you know? And I'm still a big fan, but it's just, I don't have that kind of time, and I don't need that escapism anymore where I used to live for that, right? That was like the highlight of my week. I used to live for those games, where now I just don't have the time to do it. I just don't have time for it, you know. Same thing with movies, television show. A lot of you guys are like, hey, have you seen this show? And some guys are like, oh, what do you think of Game of Thrones? I'm like, what is that? Is that a video game? I don't know. No, it's like a TV show. I'm like, I have no clue what that is. I'm like, I think I saw a t-shirt at Target that said Game of Thrones, and I thought it was just a t-shirt. I don't know what that is. I have no clue. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies. I don't need the escapism anymore. You know, I live in LA, I live in Hollywood. A lot of times when I'm out at my mall, especially in my mall, because I live in the Valley, when I go to the mall, there's a lot of actresses, surprisingly, that live in the Valley too. On more than one occasion, I would say a number of occasions, I've had just somebody next to me point out like, oh, you know who's standing right next to you? You know, I'm like, who? And they're like, oh, she's on that new show on ABC Primetime and blah, blah. I'm like, I don't give a shit, right? I don't give a shit. Is she as big as I am on YouTube? No. Right? I'm just kidding. It's my own ego. But no, I don't care. I'm just not impressed by that. I don't need that escapism anymore. So if you are constantly needing like movies, music, video games to feel like you need a break from your own life, then you know what? It's a problem. right? It's a problem. I'm not saying you can never play video games. I'm not saying you can never watch a movie. Obviously, like I said, I have a DVD collection of movies made before the year 2000. And sometimes when my girl comes over, we just kind of like hang out on the couch and we look for movies on YouTube that we've never seen before. We'll like look up movies from the 50s and 60s and whatnot, but that's like a date night, right? But when I'm not on a date and I'm like just living my life, the last thing I'm going to do is sit down and play a video game. Last thing I'm going to do is like sit down and watch movies by myself. I'd rather not. I'd rather do something productive. I'd rather get out there. I'd rather take my dogs to the park, right? Yesterday I just took my dogs to the park and there was this cute Latina girl, right? Cute Latina girl. I approached her, talked to her, and got her number, and we're supposed to go out this weekend. So I'm gonna see what's up with that chick. But yeah, it was random. I took my dogs to the park and I saw her, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do an approach. And I like picked up cash and I like walked over there. I was like, hey, I just opened her indirectly because she was part of this picnic group, and I was like, hey, do you need permits to have a picnic here? And she was like, oh, no, you could just have birthday party as long as you get here early. And I was like, oh, okay, because I thought you needed permits. She's like, no, we get here early, sometimes 10 in the morning. I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. And I'm like, is this your family? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, cool. I go, what nationality are you, if you don't mind me asking? And then I started transitioning. Then she started flipping her hair because she knew it was a pickup. And I'm kind of excited to go out with this girl. I haven't gone out with a Latina girl in a while that I really like. So I'm pretty excited for that this weekend. But that would not have happened if I just stayed home and played video games or watched television, right? It wouldn't have happened. But because I have a propensity to constantly put myself out in the field, so to speak, just out in the world, whether I'm out there actually gaming or I'm just out there running errands or just taking my dogs out to the park, right? I'm constantly putting myself out there and not diverting my life to, like some electronic for escapism, right? Even when it comes to my phone, I don't like constantly looking down at my phone. I have a classic Corvette Stingray right now, and some of my friends have joked like, hey, why don't you put, well, they haven't joked, they've been serious. They're like, why don't you put like one of those touch screens in this thing, and so you could watch TV in here and we could access YouTube here in the Corvette. And I'm like, dude, this is a 65 Corvette Stingray. I don't want to watch TV in this car. I just want to listen to the engine. I want to hear the gears shift, right? I want to enjoy the car, right? I have the original radio in that car, by the way, from 1965. The original radio. And that's really all I listen to in there. I don't want to watch TV in that car. I don't need the escapism. I want to enjoy that car, right? I want to enjoy it. That car is easily worth 50, 60, 70 grand. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is like put a TV in there because I need that escapism. No, I want to enjoy the freaking car, right? Just like, hey, I'm alive right now. I want to enjoy the world. I want to enjoy humanity, right? I don't want to sit at home. I want to be out there. It doesn't mean I need to be out at a club. I need to be bar hopping. I mean, I could just be out there with my animals. I could just, sometimes I just like to kick back, put the seat back in my car and just take a nap. Like if on a warm day, I don't know, I just like that, right? On a warm day, I'll find like a shade, just put my head back and relax in my thoughts. That's what I like to do. Sometimes I just like go to the beach to do that. I'll go out to Laguna Beach and just sit there with Cash, Giz, my dog Gizmo, and we'll sit in the sand. We generally like to go to Aliso Beach in Laguna, and we just sit there, watch the waves, watch the people like playing Frisbee and whatnot. I just like to sit there. Right? And from time to time, these opportunities come up. Hot chick might walk by, and if I feel like approaching, I'll do an approach. I'll be like, hey, what's your name? Right? That's simple. It's not hard at all. But when you constantly need that escapism, right? When you constantly need TV, video games, music, movies, in order to feel like you need a break from your own life, that's not good. Okay? That's not good. If you need a break from your own life, if you need escapism from your own life, that means your life is not good enough yet, right? You need to work on making your life so good that you won't want to sit at home and do that shit, right? And I've gotten my life to that point. It took a lot of work to get it to the point where I'm like, I have more fun being out in the world than I do sitting in front of a screen, playing a video game or, watching a television show, watching a movie. I can't even sit still in a movie theater. I hate doing that, right? Even when I'm like, sitting with my girl and we're trying to watch a movie, we don't even make it through the whole thing because we start talking to each other, we start getting in discussions, we start playing like thumb war with each other. It's just, I can't sit there and watch TV anymore. I don't need that type of escapism. And really, the only times you should be watching like TV, YouTube, or listening to the radio in your car is when you're listening to audiobooks, when you're watching your favorite mentors on YouTube, when you're actually learning and you're growing. Okay, when you're actually learning and you're growing. And I want to say minimum 90% of your time spent watching TV, watching YouTube, or listening to your radio in your car should be doing just that. You should be listening to audiobooks. You should be listening to your favorite YouTube mentors. You should be self-educating yourself. Okay, I did a training video here on my channel previously called Turn Your Car into a Red Pill University. Okay, just turn it into a university period. Not just red pill content, but anything you want to learn. Investing, stock market, real estate, dating, relationships, health, fitness, diet. That's what you should be watching and listening to on YouTube and in your car. Okay, you should not be blasting like the rap music 24/7 or whoever. I don't even know who the artists are these days. I don't know, I don't care, because I don't listen to half of them. And I've mentioned this before, like a lot of the girls I'm dating are young, so they're still kind of like entrenched into that pop culture. They know a lot of who the actresses are, they know a lot of the latest like songs and stuff, and a lot of times they forget and they'll ask me like, oh, have you heard this song and da-da-da, and I'm like, babe, I don't know. You know that about me. I have no clue. I don't know. And she's like, oh yeah, I know. She's like, oh, it's so cute, you don't know. And I'm like, I don't care. Right? I just don't care. What I care about is growing as a man. What I care about is learning as much as I possibly can about things that I'm interested in. Like right now, I'm getting more involved in investing, right? I'm getting more involved in real estate and purchasing real estate and rental properties, and that's where my focus is. So I'm subscribed to Graham Stephan, he's a real estate guy, and Jeremy, financial education. Those are the two guys I'm watching the most right now, right? There are a few other guys I watch. I like Philip Pustiovsky. I'm subscribed to him as well. And there's somebody else I can't think of. But these guys are mainly with, obviously Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. These are guys that, I'm learning from right now, actively. I don't watch other pickup channels or other red pill content creators. A lot of guys are shocked to hear that, but I don't. Just because I'm out there so often, I get all my lessons from the field, then I teach it to you direct. And sometimes some of these other red pill content creators like, hey, that was my title. That was my video. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are, dude. I don't know who you are. I've never seen your channel, never seen your videos. I've never seen you, right? I just go out and I do what I do. If by coincidence, it happens to be in the same like category, what do you want me to tell you, right? Are you actually out in the field doing this stuff? No. You're up here in this command tower, kind of just barking down your theories based on that one relationship you had 30 years ago, where I'm actively out there every single week, approaching these women live in field and then bringing my lessons to my subscribers. So they're getting it fresh from the field, right? And I'm not harping on about that one relationship I had 20, 30 years ago and building a whole YouTube channel around it, right? I've got tons of new experiences every single day. So the last thing I'm gonna do is come home and flip on YouTube and watch more red pill content or watch more pickup artists or watch any MGTOW channels. I don't watch any of these guys. I don't know who they are. I don't really even care. I mean, I'm just too focused on myself, right? So you guys are like, have you heard of this MGTOW guy? No, I don't know, right? You might mention another pickup artist, and if it's one of the bigger companies, I'll know who you're talking about just because they're all based in LA and I game at the same venues that they do, and I kind of cross paths with them a lot, right? But outside of them, I really don't know. And that's just because they're in my industry, right? But outside of them, I don't know any of these other red pill guys. I don't follow them. I don't watch their videos. I don't know who they are. The only one I've known recently is just Rollo, because you guys kept sending me links to his book. So, and I didn't even read the whole book. I just kind of thumbed through it because I don't have time to, because it's not something that is going to help me at this point. I've already got these lessons dialed down from doing game, right, again, every single week. I'm constantly out there. Right, so the last thing I'm going to do is come home and watch other red pill content creators. It's the last thing I'm going to do. I don't mind watching Graham Stephan, financial education, Jeremy, because these are things that I still want to get like become an expert at. I want to get very, very proficient at, right? So I'm only going to watch things that I still feel like these are areas of my life that I could get better at, that I could grow at. But as far as like pickup game, red pill, I mean, I've experienced this my entire adult life. I'm at a point where I've got enough content in my head to teach for like 1,000 years. It's insane on this subject. I don't need any more. And I'm constantly getting these lessons fresh from the field. I'm not sitting up safe in the command tower, hiding behind a microphone, barking out about, what happened in my previous marriage. A lot of these guys too that do these red pill things a lot of them are like fathers, and a lot of them are like married, and the ones that aren't are divorced and are fathers. I'm not a father. I don't have kids. I never got married, never made that mistake, just because I learned at an early age when I was out there doing game that I don't think marriage is in my favor, and this was back in the 90s. It didn't look good, right? The state was starting to get its hands on men more and more. And I was like, this doesn't look like the best idea. I got to figure out another way. So when it comes to needing escapism, guys, if your need for escapism is greater than your need to engage with your own life and your own reality without getting bored, then there's a problem and you need to fix it, okay? You need to fix it. Because as long as your life is at a level where it sucks more to actually engage with it, constantly just need to run away from your own life and who you are, then again, there's a problem, okay? There is a problem, and you need to sit down and go, okay, what do I need to do here to fix things? Because this can't continue. This sucks ass. This really sucks. I don't like living this way, right? And it saddens me because I've had guys in my family who are like just addicted to movies. Even friends of mine, right? I have this one good friend of mine that I'll probably know who I'm talking about him when I mention this. But dude, this guy, right? I used to play football with him, but he constantly needs to go to Disneyland, right? And I have family members like this too that I was just like, they're hooked on going to Disneyland. I don't even get what the big deal is. I like going to there every once in a while. I could understand the fun, but like these guys have season tickets. They need to go to Disneyland like, a dozen times a year. And I'm like, don't you get tired of riding Indiana Jones? Don't you get tired of riding the Matterhorn? Don't you get tired of riding Thunder Mountain Railroad? I mean, at what point do you just go, all right, I'm tired of doing this shit? Right? Not to mention Disney is like the most evil corporation in the world. Whenever I see that Disney logo, and that little 666 in it, by the way, yeah, there is a 666 in the Disney logo for you guys who don't know, right? And I don't think it's a conspiracy theory either. I mean, they literally have the satanic 666 in the Disney logo. But it's the most evil corporation on the planet. And this guy, he just needs to be at Disneyland. He needs to go constantly going to Disneyland, always going, hey man, you want to come to Disneyland? I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't have a season pass, by the way, so it's going to cost me like at least like a couple $100 to get in there. And I'm like, I just don't have time for Disneyland right now. And if I go, I probably want to take my niece, right? I'd probably take my 9-10-year-old niece or one of the other kids in my family, right? I'm not going to go for myself. I just don't need that escapism anymore. To me, it's just kind of laughable now. I mean, the rides, you're not as impressed as you were when you were a kid, obviously, right? But I mean, I would enjoy it if I was able to bring again, like my niece or one of my nephews that really doesn't get to go to Disneyland, and just to bring them and see them get joy out of it. That would make me happy, right? That would bring me joy. But I don't need that escapism for myself. Like, oh gosh, I got to go on the Indiana Jones ride, or I got to go on the Star Wars ride. I don't need that, right? I don't need that escapism anymore. I literally rather sit in my car and drive and listen to the next Graham Stephan video or the next financial education video from Jeremy, or take my dogs to the park, or get out to a venue and do some game. That's way more interesting to me than to do anything with Disney or any movie or any TV show, or watch the latest Marvel superhero movie. I don't need that shit. It's just hilarious how many people I saw got excited for that movie. Like, oh, I can't wait. I'm counting it down. It's like, really? Don't you have anything else better to do? Don't you know somebody's just going to bootleg it on YouTube sooner or later anyway? Right? Don't you know the DVD is going to be in Walmart in about 4 weeks? You could buy that thing for $5. I mean, really, is there any point to it anymore? Not only that, but a lot of these actors who are in these movies, I tell you guys, Yeah, they'll play these alpha characters in the movie, right? You'll be like, no, this part was so masculine, man. And this part was so masculine. This character, he was, this actor, he really portrayed it well, like being alpha. And it's like, yeah, the same dude you're talking about who's all masculine and alpha, as soon as he wraps that film, he will turn around, get on TV, and do a PSA for feminism, for women's rights. Women don't have equal pay. He'll do a PSA against Trump. He'll do a PSA for like lesbians having kids. I mean, God knows what, right? So it's like, don't feed me that bullshit, dude. They're all the same in Hollywood these days, okay? And all the people who are actually, say, conservative, who don't want to push that shit, those people are all in the closet. They cannot come out and speak because they know their careers will be over. And I know there are some out there, okay? I know there are. But they know their careers will be over if they say anything against the machine, right? But at the end of the day, guys, you got to let go of the escapism, right? It's got you by the balls. It's all that escapism and that need to escape your own life is keeping you from living your life, from engaging in your own life, from molding and shaping your own life into what you actually want it to be, right? It's preventing you from doing these things, okay? Because so long as you're that bored with your life that you need to kind of lily pad to something else and just kind of like escape your life constantly, daily, right? Daily, for you guys who play video games, daily, and it's just insane, right? You're constantly in this DER state, right? You're constantly in this DER state where you're never engaged in your own life, in your own reality. You're constantly escaping. You're like every single day you're spending hours playing video games. You're spending hours blasting the rap music in your car. You're spending hours like watching TV or shooting off to the latest superhero movie and watching that. You're constantly escaping your life instead of just sitting down and engaging with it. And if you've had a lifetime of escapism, I'm not gonna lie, it's going to be a little bit exhausting mentally to finally sit down and try to work on your own life because you're not used to it. It's going to be like you're just coming off like drugs. Literally, you're going to be cutting drugs out of your life, cold turkey. And you're going to go through relapses from time to time, right? It's no different from like, say you've been eating sugar your entire life. So all of a sudden you stop eating sugar, it's going to freak out your system a little bit. Just like with escapism, you stop, all of a sudden, it's going to freak your system out a bit. Like, oh shit, the life kind of sucks without this. And it's like, no, it doesn't. You just have to engage in it. You have to engage with it, okay? And you kind of have to make your life the new video game. You have to make your own life your own superhero movie and stop relying on Hollywood to provide that for you. You should be your own superhero. You don't need Hollywood to provide that for you. You don't need that constant escapism. Because whatever you're doing, if it's not helping you grow, if you're not growing in life, you're stagnating, you're dying, okay? Like I said, as a man, you have to keep moving in life. You can never sit still. And this is why guys who are constantly sitting still and are, for the most part, addicted to that constant need for escapism, these guys are constantly sitting still playing video games, constantly sitting still in front of their laptops, their computers, their phones, or at a movie theater looking at the big screen. They're constantly sitting still. They're not moving in life. Thus, their testosterone levels are dropping. Okay, this is why your testosterone levels are low. Your sexual libido is low. And then it becomes like a never-ending repetitive circle of escapism and lowering your own testosterone levels, right? That's why a lot of these guys who have that need for constant escapism are, for the most part, addicted to online porn. They're constantly watching online porn. They're constantly fapping. They need that. Even more escapism, right? That's probably the worst form of escapism is online porn. These guys are addicted to online porn. And when you fap, this is why I'm all against fap, but when you fap, you create this false pretense in your head that you've already had sex, right? You create this false feeling, right? This fake feeling that you're like sexually satisfied. Whereas when you don't fap and you go no fap, I mean, you will be motivated by default organically to just go out there and like actually approach real life women. Okay, they don't even have to be like hot women. You'll just want to approach real life women and engage with real life women and smell them and be around them and interact with them and try to get them physically attracted to you, sexually attracted to you, rather than needing to rely on online porn to satisfy that area of your life, right? This is why I don't watch online porn either. I mean, not only is it getting way too ridiculous, right? Like lately the fad is incest porn. And I've always said, like, the less sex you have, the weirder the type of porn you tend to gravitate to, right? This is why you want to get away from that shit, right? All that escapism, online porn especially, okay? Because it's all like one big destructive, self-destructive circle of habits that you're engaging in. And you're ignoring your real life. You're ignoring like a reality that you could be engaging in for a false reality. So I'm gonna wrap up here. Until next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also hit that notification bell right next to it so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video. More importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Too many of you guys are still not yet subscribed to my channel, and you're not getting these notifications when I upload brand new videos to YouTube. Okay, instead you end up finding them weeks, months later because you're not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button now. That way, whenever I upload a brand new video to YouTube, you will be the first to be notified about it. You won't have to wait in line. You won't have to go search for it on YouTube. Instead, you'll get it right as I upload it. You'll get it fresh. And for you guys who want to support my content and all of this red pill knowledge I'm teaching guys even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male content channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. Okay, why am I hosting it away from YouTube? I'm hosting it away from YouTube just in the event of one day they try to demonetize all my videos. They try to shut me down completely because they don't like this content I'm teaching. So I'm hosting all of my premium content on a separate private platform away from YouTube. And right now I'm giving away the entire first month of premium content for just $1. Okay, so it's just $1 for the entire first month of being a premium subscriber of my brand new premium Alpha Male content channel, which again, I'm hosting off of YouTube. Okay, and to get signed up, it's real simple. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you could get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. All right. Should we do the hater tour of the house? My high ceilings. All right, we'll do a little walk outside. You guys were making fun of me because you're like, do the hater tour of the house. Or you go outside the front of your house and show it. So the haters can be like, oh, he's in his 1-bedroom, tiny studio apartment. So yeah, it's front of my house, guys. Actually, it's a little cooler today, which is good. It's been like 100 degrees, but it's actually pretty cool. You guys know what's in the garage. What's in there, guys? 65 Stingray. All right. Every man should get a muscle car at some point. Stop driving these like electric cars and these smart cars and these girly man cars and these like wussy cars. Right? Get a real man's car. Get a Stingray. Get a Corvette. Get a Z28, like an old school one. I like the old school ones. I like the new ones, but I like the old school ones too. All right, until next time.